My name is Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, season 2 episode. I lost count so many sessions ago. I don't even know where we are. But today I want to talk about a multitude of different things. But one thing, I had a conversation with one of our one-on-one clients the other day, and it was about the essentials of fitness and consistency. And the crux of our discussion was this: to achieve impressive results, you really need to just consistently commit to less glamorous day-to-day things that will get you the results you want. A lot of people will just go, I want to try this for 6 months. I want to try this for 6 months. I want to try this for 6 months, or whatever it is. And it's just, you have to do the basic stuff. You need to squat. You need to press. You need to pick stuff off the floor. You need some cardio. And that is really, like, it's super simple. Right. And so the biggest takeaways from this was structured training, right? So consistency in training is not about just showing up. It's about following a well thought out plan that addresses all your aspects of fitness, which is what we do at Strength Warehouse, right? So it's 2 to 3 days of intentional strength training each week to build up muscle and increase metabolic rate, right? 3 to 5 days of walking around. Maybe it's you're going to go on a walk. Maybe it's you're going to go on a ruck. Maybe you're going to go on a hike, something like that. So try to get in walking almost every single day. I try to do a 10-minute walk after each meal that I have, because the scientific proof that shows that it keeps blood sugar down and diabetes completely away is absolutely huge. There was a research study done just not too long ago that said moving your body 10 minutes after you've eaten is twice as likely as the leading diabetic drug for type 2 diabetes called metformin. That is absolutely huge. Why would you want to take a drug that costs you money and has negative result or negative side effects, and who knows what the side effects are long term, when you could just get up and walk around for 10 minutes and it has twice as effectiveness as that, right? You got to have some type of regular cardio. And I'm not talking about beating the pavement, hitting it hard, breathing hard, feeling like crap, feeling like you're going to throw up. Just walking around is a great way. Zone 2 cardio is amazing for you. If you want to throw a ruck pack on, a 20-pound one, whatever, that is one of the best ways that I have found to keep my cardiovascular health in check. Now, you also want to do some more intensity in your cardio. So a couple days a week, right? So insert strength camp here. A couple of days a week of pretty intense cardio. That's going to get the heart elevated and the blood pumping and the lungs working and all the cardiovascular system working. And again, the best thing with strength camp is it's not just sitting on a treadmill pumping, just running or getting on the tread or a Stairmaster or doing a bike or anything. It's very, very intuitive. It's got a lot of different things. You're going to build strength, and you're going to build some stamina and endurance and cardiovascular as well. The other part of this conversation was really prioritizing your nutrition, right? So nutrition should never be an afterthought. If you look at the basis of fitness, the pyramid of fitness, nutrition is on the bottom. It's the foundation. And so you should, definitely be looking at higher protein, maybe not so many carbs, less simple sugars, looking at fat content in these days. Like, so many things are like, oh, this protein bar has got 26 grams of protein and 0 carbs, but you look at the fat and you're like, whoa, this one tiny little bar has 50% of my daily intake of fat, and it might not even be a good fat that you're eating, So hey guys, real quick, the reason I make these podcasts is because I am super passionate about delivering the message of strength training and its benefits to the world. And I want this podcast to reach as many people as possible. So if you could do me a really quick favor and just screenshot this, put it on your social media and tag us. That way I know that people are getting value out of the content out of this podcast, and we can grow the message of strength training and its benefits. Anyway, that's all I got to say. We'll see you back on the podcast in 3, 2, 1. Having protein with each meal good quality proteins. Now, you don't have to eat meat, but in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to get protein. We've lived on animal proteins and animal fats since the beginning of human existence. Now, I know there's some different studies out there saying that, red meat's bad for you, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of different corresponding and conflicting information out there, but what I've read and what I understand is that everything in moderation is good, right? Except for arsenic. You don't want to take any arsenic. It's not good for you in any amount, right? And same with there's some various other chemical compounds out there that probably are not very good for you, even in the smallest dose, right? But you want to have a good balanced meal, right? So you want to have some protein in there, you want to have some carbohydrates, and you want to have some fats. And I know there's so many things out there. One of my members and I were talking about this the other day, where they're like, well, hey, my caloric intake is right where I need it to be, but I'm just not eating any carbohydrates. So why is that bad? And I was like, well, the body is meant to have carbohydrates. It has specific vitamins that are in there. Carbohydrates are a great fuel source. Now, there's arguments for ketones and that type of stuff, but there's also side effects to doing that as well. So you just got to watch out and kind of weigh what's going to work best for you. And, the biggest reason why I'm talking about this is because it's great to have some guidance on all this, because there's so much information out there, and our jobs are to make sure that we're on top of this all day long. Like your job might be, my old job was working on cars all day. So I was on top of the newest systems and education for the, recertifying and making sure that I was good on the basics. And my job was literally 7:30 to 5 was making sure cars were on the road. And I didn't have any time to research this other stuff. Now, my passion for fitness and nutrition superseded that and ended up leaving that industry to go to the fitness industry. So now my passion and my full-time job is making sure I'm up on top of all the nutrition stuff, all the new exercise stuff. And it's funny that you look at all these fad things that are coming out, 30-minute hit this and hit that, and cardio this and keto that. And it's like, dude, just do the basics. Like, we've known this for years and years and years, is lift weights, move your body, try to, we're never meant to sit at computers for hours on end. And, that's funny because I'm sitting at a computer for hours on end today, but I've gotten some steps in today and I've gotten a little exercise in between. And I just set my timer, and when the timer's done, I get up and I move my body. And if I eat first, then I go move my body after that, just making sure that I'm moving and making sure that I'm lifting something heavy every single day. And I'm always prioritizing one thing in my fitness that day. I hear this all the time. I'm just too busy. I can't do this right now. I'm going to have to wait till, some crazy date down the road. Like I just got one today that was, it's just becoming summer. And this person's like, I got to wait till next year. And I'm like, really? You got to wait till next year? Dude, that's 9 months away. That's a long time to not have anything in your fitness regimen. I didn't say anything to the person. I was just like, hey, I hope the best for you. And I would like to stay in touch with you and give you some tips and stuff like that. But man, it just kind of hurts my heart when somebody's so gung-ho on they can't spend 1 to 3 hours a week on their health and their fitness to make sure that they're the best possible version of themselves. But that's a great way to segue into, as a coach, when I very first opened my gym, one of my good friends who's owned a gym for a long time, he told me, and I repeat this multiple times, so maybe you've heard it, the best way to lose your fitness is to own a gym. And I was like, what? Really? I'm going to be in the gym all day long, which is typical. I hear this all the time. Oh, it must be easy for you to stay fit and strong because you own a gym and you're in the gym all day long. Let me tell you, it was actually harder for me to get my workouts in owning a gym than it was for me working at Subaru, getting off at 5 o'clock and driving straight to the gym every day, completely exhausted, and getting my fitness in then. And I can't tell you why. The only thing I can tell you is that the shoe shiner shoes are not shined. The mechanics' cars are either brand new or they're always broken. Something about it in your mindset, it's hard. And so coaches need to have fitness, and they need to have coaches too. And I would go as far as to say that if you have a coach that does not have a coach, they're not going to be a great coach for very much longer, because standing still and not getting any coaching from somebody else or not learning new things, you're instantly going backwards. This world is going so fast that you cannot stay on top of things unless you have somebody coaching you that is actively getting on top of all the new stuff that's coming out, or they are engaging in some kind of extracurricular learning. I can't even think of the word right now, but basically they're going out and learning new stuff, which is basically what we do at our gym. We're getting ready to take some of our team across the country to Chicago for a 3-day event. It's all about learning fitness and the gym industry and connecting and team building exercises. And Megan and I, are so stoked every single year to go. Even though it comes up, it's super stressful. We got to cover all of our shifts and all of our, our one-on-ones and all that type of stuff. And just it's a lot of stress, right? And we got to get, from Central Oregon, there's not a direct flight to Chicago. You always got to do a secondary flight, a connection flight. And there's problems. Last year, Coach Derek and Coach Mike were halfway from Seattle to Chicago. They had to turn around because they had an airplane problem. They ended up getting there the next day or like way later in the night or something like that. But yeah, it's one of those things where you have to always have coaches that are continuously learning and continuously trying to up the bar each time. And that, I think, is really what sets Strength Warehouse apart from a number of places that are in our area. I'm a very outgoing person, and so I go out and I meet all these gym owners and these coaches, and we've had several coaches try to become coaches at our gym. And one of the biggest things is, are you coachable? Can I coach you and you learn something from that? Or will you take advice? If you can't, there's no way you can become a Strength Warehouse coach. We hold a very high standard, and we're always pushing to exceed the expectations of our clients and not just meet those clients' needs. We are always trying to stay on top of that, all that type of stuff. And that comes down to the core value of, am I coachable? If I'm not coachable, then there's no way that you can continuously learn and grow. And I said the same thing in the automotive industry. I was like, hey guys, why don't you go, my team, I had a team of 9. I go, hey, why don't you go get a certification? No, I don't need that certification. I know what I'm doing. Well, how come you don't go to the Subaru trainings, the trainings that they offer? Well, no, I don't have enough time. I need to make money now. That's great, but the amount of money you're going to make is going to start tapering off because you don't have the knowledge going forward, and technology is not slowing down. I don't know if you've noticed this, but technology is actually accelerating faster and faster and faster and faster. And your cars now have 55-inch screen TVs as the infotainment center and the dash. It's absolutely insane. I haven't been up on the automotive industry for now 3 years as of July, and I'm way behind. If I went back, it would take me, there's a pretty big learning curve I would have to get up to speed to where all the people who have been doing that are. Anyway, that's pretty much the gist of the podcast today. Just making sure that you guys know that continuously do things that are the simple, easy repeat, right? So structured training, 2 to 3 days a week, getting some walking in 3 to 5 days a week, minimum 3 days a week, and ideally 5 days a week. And then 2 to 3 cardio sessions where you're going to, push it a little hard. So the 3 strength training sessions, we have those covered Monday through Friday or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We have our intentional strength training days. And then we have our strength camp, which is 2 days a week of intentional cardio sessions, which are going to be varying in intensity and duration and challenge the body in different ways, right? And then all you got to do is get up and walk around at work 3 to 5 times a week. Not that big of a deal. 10 minutes in between after each meal to make sure that blood glucose is down so you can continue to have the lowest risk of diabetes possible. And then making sure that you prioritize your nutrition, just making sure that it's quality foods, Get some meat in there. I get it if you're a vegan or a vegetarian and you can't do it, no problem. There's ways of doing that, other ways of doing that. Some supplementation of some proteins and stuff like that. I take protein powder. I've done it for years and years and years. The reason why it is because I like the taste of it. And it's a great way to get some extra protein in when you're like, my belly's full, I'm not super hungry, but I need more protein to make sure that I'm gaining that muscle mass that I want, or at least maintaining the muscle mass that you want. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. And I know you guys are busy, so I've gotten you all the information, and I'm going to leave you off with the thing I'm going to say every single time this year, and that is success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, and everything you want in this life is on the other side of your fear. So go out and take some action. And by the way, this podcast is edited by Todd Tolsis at imagingvoice.com. He does an amazing job of editing all our podcasts and making sure that our guests and the people that come on are super, super just happy to be on there, and he just drops the nerves down, because I can tell the guest that's coming on, hey, if you mess up, it's okay. My buddy Todd, he's an amazing editor, and he works magic, and he gets rid of all the little things in there that are weird and makes my podcast sound amazing. So thanks, Todd. I really appreciate it. I hope your knee heals super, super quickly and gets you back in the gym and moving around. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot, and we will see you later. Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.